Good morning, children and parents of St. Jude's Brampton. And those of you joining us on YouTube today, welcome to the Children's Message. My name is Amelia, and I am super excited to have you here. Today is a very special day. It's Easter Sunday, 2025. Today's date is April the 20th, and today Jesus is alive. Alleluia, alleluia. Our lesson today, as always, comes from the Complete Children's Liturgy book by Katie Thompson, published by 23rd Publications. So today, I was having such a hard time getting ready for the lesson. I couldn't decide what picture or what story to show you because there are so many books and so many stories that celebrate this great day. On Easter Sunday, we celebrate the fact that Jesus has risen from the dead and is alive. As you walk into church today, you'll realize something wonderful has happened. The big bright candle shines at the front of the church for all to see, and the church is decorated with beautiful flowers. Today we see new signs of life everywhere, and today we sing joyfully, Alleluia, Alleluia, as we thank God for Easter morning. Our lesson today comes from the Gospel of John, chapter 20th, verses 1 through 9. And as I said, I had such a hard time coming up with which picture to show you. I have to show you them all. Today's lesson, there are so many pictures and so many versions of what an amazing day it is. So let's get started. So, before sunrise on Sunday morning, Mary Magdalene went to the tomb. As she got to the entrance, she saw that the stone had been rolled away from the tomb, and the tomb was empty. She ran to the disciples, saying, "They've taken the Lord from the tomb. We don't know where they have put him." Peter and the disciple John ran to the tomb and found it just as Mary described, with the linen burial cloths lying on the ground, and Peter went into the tomb, followed by John. Until this moment, they had not understood the scriptures, which had said, "He must rise from the dead." But now they saw and they believed. Oh, as you see, too many books, but it is such a wonderful day. So let's talk about what happened. Why did Mary return to the tomb on Sunday morning? Jesus had died late Friday afternoon, and the women had begun to embalm his body with spices and ointments in preparation for burial, as was their custom at the time. However, the Jewish Sabbath began at sunset on Friday evening, and the work was not allowed on the Sabbath, so they had to wait until Sunday to come back and complete their task. What did Mary find when she arrived at the tomb? Whom did she tell? As the disciples ran to the tomb, can you imagine what they must have been thinking? Peter and John both raced to the tomb and found it empty. They could hardly believe that Jesus might be alive. But at that very moment, they began to hope for something wonderful that was really happening. On Easter Day and throughout the season of Easter, a special candle called the Paschal candle is lit. What does this remind us of? It reminds us that Jesus, the light of the world, has destroyed death and is alive. It is a symbol of new life. What did we give each other on Easter Sunday as a symbol of new life? Easter eggs! Just as the chick in the egg must break free from its shell to to live a new life, so too Jesus had to break free from death in the tomb. He had new life, which God had promised us all. So today's craft, and let me move my books first because I have books everywhere. It's kind of a mess. So today's craft is a coloring page, but this one is a little bit more special. This is either a banner or a card for you to color. And if you color this, you can hang it on next to your bed, in your house, on your front window, because it is such good news to tell everyone. Here's one that I've colored. And what you can do is take it and fold it in half. And now you have a greeting card. And inside, you can write a message to family and friends and tell them the good news. Tell them the good news that Jesus is risen and Jesus is alive. And today is Easter, where we don't just celebrate with colorful eggs and bunny rabbits and chocolate. We celebrate that Jesus has come alive, and when he died on the cross for us and promised he would be back, he came. He came back just for us. So I'd like to close today's lesson with our prayer, and we can all make the sign of the cross, put our hands together and bow our heads and say together, Jesus, we thank you for the joy of the resurrection when you rose from the dead and were filled with new life. Help us to remember that you suffered and died on the cross for us, so that one day we too will share with you the joy of everlasting life. So again, I'm so excited to wish you all a very, very, very happy Easter. And I hope you take all the joy and all the fun with you all week and enjoy this new springtime weather and be happy and kind to each other. I look forward to seeing you again next Sunday. Have a great week. Bye-bye.